Good to see you both again. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Of
Oh man, no
course.
problem.
Absolutely. I mean, by the time this interview is out, I mean, the finale dropped, and oh my goodness. I just kind of want to know, like, both of you, like, start with Kaelen, like, when you find out, the fate of your characters, like, that's going to be so many different kind of emotions. But like, what is that like? And when do you find out about that, Kaelen? Because TV is interesting, right? Like, you might not find out right away about that, right?
Yeah, I found out a week or so before we got the scripts for the finale. And we always find out in person. John Griffin will meet us in person and tell us before the scripts drop. So, yeah, it's a process, you find out that and then you get the script and you kind of just have to go to work and think about how am I going to do this.
Mm.
And then you get to process, okay, I'm not coming back next year. And at
Yeah.
least not in a regular way. Who knows? Our show's different in that sense.
I
But
was about to say, like,
yeah.
like literally, like that's almost what I was thinking is who knows? Um, Nathan, good to see you again, man. And
Good to see you too.
I did kind of want to ask, so it's interesting. Your character, he makes decisions throughout season four that he thinks are, and I love this. This is like I'm nerding out right now, right? Like for the show. Like he thinks he's helping, right? But he's not at all from the viewer
Yeah.
perspective. I feel like that's very unique and interesting from an acting perspective, right? Like, how do you prepare for something like that, right? Like, you can't hear the audience being like, "No, what are you doing? Why are you showing her that photo?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think yeah, I think it's you have to like fully believe in everything that my character's doing. You kind of like blocking out any other perspectives, or I can't look at like Sophia like they're like the man in yellow or evil. I have to kind of forget
mm,
about that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and that's the only way. Because if not, then it's like I might play like a bit of hesitancy. But I feel like yeah, that's important to just believe exactly what Elgin see exactly what Elgin sees to make him want to do that, right? Yeah.
When you were reading that, though, were you just like, oh, because I mean, you've been with this character for so long, but when you were reading that, were you like, oh my goodness? Like, were you like, what was it like reading that?
The first read, I was like, what the F word? Like, what is happening? Like, why? But then it's like, okay, I see now makes much more sense, like with all the circumstances that are in the room and everything that's going on outside.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see now. Maybe he thinks I figured something out. I'm here to help
Yeah.
everyone else figure this hellscape, right? But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's a good segue, Kaylin, to my next question. So here's the thing I find really interesting about, and I've talked to a lot of your cast over the weeks about this. For this season, I really think that there's two things that really kind of stand out, where there is, fear from the whole town. It's always there. But I really feel like the frustration in this season is really building. Like people really want to get out of there. Not saying they didn't want to in previous, but like now it's really the fear and the frustration are coming together. You're one of those characters, like Chloe's characters, that is there to really like, help out and has the medical expertise and takes care of everyone, right? So in terms of that, where the stakes are so higher with the frustration and the fear, what's that like preparing for that this season specifically, given that what I just said about the medical and the injuries and all that? Because do you feel like there's more of kind of a responsibility compared to past seasons for your character? Like I'm just wondering if you thought about that for this season.
Well, I think, you can only really focus on the task at hand, especially like as Marielle, there's usually a task that I'm carrying out or assisting Christy with, and that's all you can really focus on in the moment is like the person that you're working with and what they're going through, especially if you're taking on that sort of caretaker role.
Mm,
And then the battle of personal struggles, obviously Mary kind of bury that most of the time until it is forced out of her.
mm,
When other people see it and they go, okay, now you need to explain what just happened. So
yeah.
yeah, like for me, as if I tried to take on the bigger picture, I think it would just be too hard to focus on the performance. What we really do, I feel, is we're trying to just be as present as possible in that scene. So, like life, that's what you're thinking about in that moment, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, absolutely it does. And Nathan, it's interesting too because I look back, I can't believe we're talking, about season four because I look back at, the ending of season one where that's where you both your characters show up, season two in the bus where the bus rolls in. I was like, I don't know how this show is like, that is like one of the coolest like endings of a finale of a season ever. And then every season this show keeps topping that, right? I just want to know what's that like, specifically. Maybe not cliffhanger, but like do you feel like even after like season 2, like being on the show for the first time with this character after that, like season 3 and 4, did you feel like it was expected that there was going to be something big that happens in a final episode of a season?
Yeah, I did. And that's what it's funny enough. I remember when halfway through season 4, before I got the news, I was like, part of me was like, something has to be coming. I think maybe it might have been Corteon is always being like, yeah, I think I might be going. And part of me was like, because like end of season 2, my character, getting drowned or whatever. End of season 3, getting tortured or whatever. So I feel like the next step, if anything happened with my character, would be his death. And yeah, lo and behold,
You've been through some stuff, huh?
Oh, I know,
Absolutely.
torturous.
Wow.
It still caught me off guard a little bit, though. I didn't expect it. When it officially happened, I was like, you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm just so, we're so connected to all these characters, you know what I mean? Like, so it's the drowning. It's true. I didn't even think about that until now, the drowning. Yeah, that's true.
And I think even with like with Kaelin's character and mine, I think both our characters in particular, we've escaped death so many times, right? And
Yes.
like how many times more can we? Like Kaelen, you tortured, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're almost gone. And so how many times can you approach the end of the abyss, the beginning of the abyss without falling over, right?
Is it hard to like Kaelen to kind of say what Nathan just said, like balancing the physical components of things and the emotional, like the acting, like are those like are you wearing two different hats, or is it all a storytelling hat preparing for it? Like I'm curious about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because my death scene in particular was very technical. We're dealing with special effects on some characters, prosthetics on me, blood continuity, all that stuff. And so I think if I think about it, you kind of take your rehearsal for camera and your wide shots to kind of really get the technical stuff in your body as much as you can and lock that in and not think about it as much. Because if you're getting emotional direction and you're still thinking about how you're supposed to be falling on the ground or what, all the different things that are happening, it can get to be a lot and the performance might suffer. So I don't know if it's two different hats as much as it's like a web with different lights going off in moments that it has to. Because he was like, don't forget to notice her scream. I was like, but I just got shredded open. I'm not like, okay, just trying to remember all the little notes that you're getting. I think you just do what you can, yeah.
Absolutely. I wanted to say to both of you, thank you both so much for your incredible performances throughout the last 3 seasons of From. Incredible job. Congratulations. And by the time this interview is out, season 4 finale has come out, and insane stuff. My favorite show on television. I always say that every time I talk to your cast. Good to see you both again. Thank you so much for your time.
You too, Pete.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.